1989 Stanley Cup Finals. The 1989 Stanley Cup Finals was the championship series of the National Hockey League's NHL 1988-89 season and the culmination of the 1989 Stanley Cup playoffs. It was contested between the Calgary Flames and the Montreal Canadiens, the top two teams during the regular season. This was the second time in the decade after 1986 that the Canadiens and Flames met in the finals. The 1989 series remains the last time that two Canadian teams faced each other for the Stanley Cup. The Flames defeated the Canadiens in 6 games to win their first and only Stanley Cup. The winning goal in Game 6 was scored by Doug Gilmour. They became the first team to win a Stanley Cup after relocating, as they had begun life as the Atlanta Flames in 1972. Since then, 4 more teams have accomplished this feat: the New Jersey Devils, formerly the Kansas City Scouts, and Colorado Rockies, the Colorado Avalanche, formerly the Quebec Nordiques, the Dallas Stars, formerly the Minnesota North Stars, and the Carolina Hurricanes, formerly the New England/Hartford Whalers. The Flames later reached the finals again in 2004. This was also the second to last of 8 consecutive finals where either the Flames or their provincial rival Edmonton Oilers represented Alberta in the Stanley Cup Finals. Both Calgary and Montreal were the only 2 teams to win the Stanley Cup in the 1980s other than the New York Islanders and the Edmonton Oilers. This was the Canadiens' first defeat in a Cup Finals since 1967. Montreal later won the finals again in 1993, their most recent finals victory. The defeat was Patrick Roy's only Cup Finals where he was not on the winning side. He went on to win the 1993 Cup with the Canadiens and the 1996 and 2001 Cups with the Avalanche. The 1989 finals featured 2 coaches making their first appearances as Calgary's Terry Crisp faced Montreal's Pat Burns. For Crisp it was his only appearance, while Burns returned one more time in 2003 where he led the Devils to their 3rd cup. In the interim between their 2 matches both teams had replaced their coaches. Crisp was hired to replace Badger Bob Johnson after his departure following the 1987 season, while Burns took over for 1986 Cup winning coach Gene Perrin after his 1988 firing. For Crisp, this was his 3rd Stanley Cup championship in his career. He had already won 2 as a player with the Philadelphia Flyers in 1974 and 1975. Following the series, Bob Gainey, Rick Green, and Lanny McDonald retired, while longtime defenseman Larry Robinson signed with the Los Angeles Kings, where he played the final 3 years of his career. Paths to the finals. Calgary defeated the Vancouver Canucks 4-3, the Los Angeles Kings 4-0, and the Chicago Blackhawks 4-1 to advance to the final. Montreal defeated the Hartford Whalers 4-0, the Boston Bruins 4-1, and the Philadelphia Flyers 4-2. Game summaries. Co-captain Lanny McDonald scored the second Flames goal in Game 6. This turned out to be the last goal in his Hockey Hall of Fame career because he retired during the following off-season. It was also his only Stanley Cup victory. Doug Gilmour scored 2 goals in the 3rd period, including the eventual game and cup winner to cement the victory for the Flames. Al MacInnes won the Conn Smythe Trophy as playoff MVP and, at 31 points, became the first defenseman to lead the NHL in postseason scoring. The Calgary Flames are the only visiting team to have won the Stanley Cup at the Montreal Forum via defeating the Canadiens. Broadcasting. This was the first Cup Finals since 1984. This was also the first season that Sports Channel America held the national U.S. rights. Team rosters. Years indicated in boldface under the finals appearance column. Calgary Flames. Al MacInnes served as an AST captain when any of the other 3 captains were not dressed. Montreal Canadiens. Stanley Cup engraving. The 1989 Stanley Cup was presented to Flames co-captains Lanny McDonald, Tim Hunter, and Jim Peplinski, by NHL President John Ziegler following the Flames' 4-2 win over the Canadiens in Game 6. The following Flames players and staff had their names engraved on the Stanley Cup 1988-89 Calgary Flames. Players: Stanley Cup Finals patch. The 1989 Stanley Cup Final was the first to feature a special commemorative patch on both teams' sweaters in honor of the championship series. Placed on each player's left shoulder, the patch employed the same design that would be used from 1989 to 1994 before being tweaked for the 1995 final. A commemorative patch has been issued in every Stanley Cup final since, though subsequent patches were sewn onto the sweater's upper right breast area, with the only exceptions being the 1994 and 2014 New York Rangers, whose diagonal word mark necessitated the patch's placement on the top of each sweater's left shoulder.